In this video, we're going to be learning how to animate the rocket using a path.
And I'll lift up my timeline here. So another thing I want to do is make sure that my rocket is all connected, because right now my wings here are not connected to my rocket. So I'm going to select both of those. So I've got my rocket and my wings here. I'll right click and join those together. So after doing that, I realized I still have my window and my extra cylinder that I made for the blue in my window that I have not yet put together. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have all those selected. So I have my window, holding, not shift. I have my window, I'm going to hold control, select my rocket, and then select my cylinder. So I have all three of those. Then I'll join those together. Okay, so it's now one whole object here. So if I were to move this, it should move the whole thing instead of all the separate pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and go back into my solid mode here, and I'm going to add curve path. Okay, so you can see I have my path here. What we're going to do is we're going to make a path that our rocket will travel along. So you can move that wherever you would like that to start. I'm going to rotate it. I want it to kind of come from this angle maybe and do like a loop or something like that. Okay, up a little bit. So I'm going to go into edit mode. First, I'm going to select this one point here and use my move tool to move that. Then I can drag these other ones. You see how I'm starting to make curves. This may take a minute to get a hang of. I don't know, I'm going to move this one back in a little bit. Right click and extrude curve and move. So now I'm able to make another curve here. I'm going to bring this up here and then I can adjust it. And I want to add another one, so I'm going to right click and do extrude curve and move. And I'm just going to put this one here and then I'll adjust it. I'm probably going to make it smaller because when my rocket is on the path, it's going to probably be going out of frame there. So I'm going to make this smaller. And I'll probably be able to kind of fix the way that looks in a minute. And so I'm going to right click again, extrude curve and move. And I'm going to put this one here, I guess. And then one more time, right click, extrude and move, and then I'll make it go off of the I'm going to go back into object mode and I'm going to try to select my rocket. Okay, there's my rocket, I think. There it is. Okay. So I have my rocket selected. I'm going to go here to my object properties, and I'm going to go down to where it says relations, and I'm going to pick this eyedropper for the parent, and I want to click the where it says NURBS path. So you can see here that it put my rocket on the path, but if we play it, it doesn't move on the path. So what we're going to do is select our path. We want to go down here to data properties, and where it says path animation, you'll click that down and check follow. You can see that moved our rocket towards the path. Okay, so you can see that if we move this part here, that it follows the path that we created. So let's go ahead and move that back to 0. And we're going to make sure that we have our timeline here and that we're at our 0 frame. And we're going to hover over that evaluation and press I on our keyboard, and that's going to create a keyframe for us there. So now what we're going to do is come down a few frames. I'm not sure where I want my animation to start because I'm not sure how fast it's going to play. So I'm just going to choose 100 for now, and I'm going to move this over till my animation is finished, which is about right here when it's off frame. So right at 98, and you can come click right here, and that'll end your keyframe there. So we can go back and play that. And maybe that's a little slow, so I'm gonna just move. Well, I'm gonna move my keyframe back to 80. Okay, and if you want to see it like in color and things, you can look at it like that. Okay, so I'm pretty good with that. So I did end up moving my keyframe back to 75 just to speed it up a little bit more, and I think I'm good with it there. So I'm gonna go into output. I'm gonna make sure that I end my animation. So after my keyframe ends at 75, but I'll let it play a little longer than that. I'm gonna do 78. So I did go ahead and render this so I could see what it looks like, and I think it's really way too fast. So I'm going to go back and kind of put back my keyframes where they were, because I think it's going to look better spread out. First, I'm going to change my end frame. I'm going to go ahead and put it at 100 where I had it. And click on my path. I'm going to move that keyframe out to 100. I might even extend it more. I'm going to do like 120. Yeah, so everything should be the same as output. I'm going to save it as 120, so I know this is the one that I did my 120 frames on instead. Actually, I'm gonna make it render a little over that, even though it ends at 120. Okay, so I'm gonna go again. Make sure that your FFmpeg video is the file format. I'm gonna go to render animation. Okay, so I was able to render it. This is the one that was 125 frames, and the animation stopped at 120. One thing that I wish that I would have done is maybe made that circle a little smaller so it doesn't go off the frame so much. So maybe you can go back and either not make your circle as wide so that your rocket stays in the frame. Thanks for watching.